no one will ever beat Foley in goal for height-wise and stature, but he's a great size, isn't he, the goalkeeper who's in there. Looks very, very athletic. And you're right, it's a team for Port Vale who have got their act together, so to speak, got a team spirit amongst them, and you know, Carlisle want to come here with exactly the same kind of ambitions which we have got, and take something away from here. Good pitch, big pitch. Delighted to see they've closed it in a few yards for the lads. When I played it was a lot bigger than this. Played in August as well, about the third game of the season, boiling hot. But yeah, rains came down at the right time, no wind. What a day to play football.
Yeah, and they are a club, not just a team going in the right direction, Chris. They're a club on the up, aren't they, Port Vale? When you look, this stadium at times has looked a bit more tired, but they've clearly given it that fresh lick of paint, that renovation. The stands all around are good. A huge coloured scoreboard opposite us on the right-hand side, which is a fantastic look to the ground. Gives you plenty of detail as we prepare to get underway.
How many times have we came to Port Vale and it's just been nothing up to kick off? They've got a fan zone rampant. You know, this is the busiest I've seen Port Vale's ground, and the atmosphere just before kick-off, as we heard there, sing-song right up until kick-off. So the feel-good factor is certainly here, just like it is at Carlisle.
Yeah, they're enjoying life in League One, having got up and survived, and we are underway in League One then. Game number 5 of the season brings Carlisle United to Burslem, where they'll take on Port Vale in the Stoke-on-Trent neck of the woods, a famous area where Carlisle United have happy memories, of course, with that conference playoff final. Early ball played off one of the Carlisle men and out for a throwing to the Valiants on the near side. We're in the opening minute, already a goal in the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League, and it is Arsenal 0, Fulham 1. Get the goal scorer in that one in due course, but Fulham taking the lead at Arsenal. It's been a topsy-turvy start in the Premier League. Brighton leading the way at the moment, and think until Tottenham's game at this lunchtime. Carlisle cut the ball out on the edge of the penalty area, as I say, until Tottenham's game this lunchtime with that win, but in that earlier game. Right, out on the right-hand side, Carlisle United trying to get forwards. Plange on the ball, but it's played off him by one of the Port Vale men and out for a throw-in in that left-back position. I'll let Chris Lumpkin keep his eyes on how United are settling, but it certainly looks like Mellish and Lavelli the side of Huntington in a back 3 for Carlisle, wing backs, midfield 3 and 2 strikers. 5-3-2. Carlisle battling for the ball on the right. Port Vale flick it over United's defensive line.
Like for like, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
Armour against his man, just 1v1 here.
Yeah, on the near side. Yeah, it's the most underpopulated wing area I think I've seen in a long time, that, Chris. Just 2 players in, must be, I don't know, 200 yards of space over on this far side, square yards around them. There is a masses of room for the number 7, Mitch Clark, to get at Armour if that's what he chooses to do. Carlisle trying to break forwards. Port Vale snap in with the tackle. He comes out to the right, and they'll try and release Clark down this right-hand side. And see that's what they're going to try and do. Float this in behind Armour. Clark comes and takes it on his collarbone. Edge of the area. 2 good touches. Lays it into the middle of the park there. Maybe thinking about the shot. Out to the left-hand side now, and the man on that left trying to get in behind Carlisle. Works onto his right. Shot at the near post into the side netting. Some fans to our right thought that was in, which is always amusing. James Plant cutting in on his right foot from the left. The Carlisle fans to our right enjoying that. Second minute, still 0-0.
Yeah, great start, to be honest. It's a good ball over the top. Armour just gets caught on it. Mitch Clark really on the front foot there, as you said. A couple of good touches, works it out to the far wide man, and he has no hesitation at running that fin back and getting a shot off. Maybe if you're being harsh, he's got to hit the target really from there, hasn't he?
Possible. I thought as well that maybe Armour was a little bit passive in there and just allowed Clark to be much more aggressive after the ball. Number 2 all over Maguire there. Carlisle trying to get onto it with Plange. He's done well. Gets it. Mellish comes and joins the Carlisle foray forwards to McCalmon, edge of the area, back out to the left-hand side, and Plange, who's popped up on the left on his right foot, gives it on to McCalmon. Infield to Guy, being closed down, goes back out to McCalmon. He's got nothing really to hit. Has to go into Huntington, who just has to swirl it forwards. Comes off one of the Vale midfielders. Hoisted over the top. Huntington in a straight fight with Wilson, the number 29. They appeal for the foul, the ref not giving, and it drifts through to Andresen in goal. Full international with Iceland, joined on loan of course from Reading, and has bided his time and now in the team. Mellish has given it away when driving forwards. Huntington steps in and rescues the situation. Maguire can't get a foot on the ball, picked up by the number 19 there, trying to get them away. Nice ball out to the right hand side. Clark really running at Moxon. Ball into the penalty area. Chance, potential penalty, shot away anyway in there, and it's given us a goal kick. Big appeals from the Port Vale fans. The Carlisle fans almost jeering that, but when the man went through into the area there, somebody lunged in in. The 10 Chislett went down. They managed to get a shot away that went wide, but that was very nervy, and boos all around Vale Park for the fact the ref didn't give a penalty there, potentially, for the chop on Chislett.
Yeah, Mitch Clark looks very, very sharp, doesn't he? You know, as you said, Mellish drove forward, then the next thing, Mitch Clark's got it. He gets the ball into area, and Chislett just gets his foot to it, and you think there's a dangling foot, but the referee's right there. And to be fair to a few Port Vale lads, there was no massive appeal.
Isn't that just what Mellish did for the opener in the Exeter game? Drove up into the midfield, or maybe I'm thinking of Harrogate potentially, but anyway, out onto the right hand side. McCalmont on the ball here for Carlisle United. Great noise around Vale Park here, making it hard for us to hear about goals coming through. We will keep letting you know. Another goal in the Premier League as Maguire goes after a ball forwards that he won't get to. Goal kick Port Vale. Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 2. 5 minutes into the game. That is absolutely unbelievable. Fulham, by the way, ahead through Pereira, the former Manchester United man, but 2 goals from Awonyi, who's made a fantastic goal-scoring start to the season, and Willie Bowley, 2nd and 4th minutes, Forest 2-0 up at Manchester United. And Chris, on one national radio station talking about sport on the way up, Man United were getting hammered, and Eric Ten Hag in particular, for the job he's done so far at Old Trafford.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? 1 minute you're a hero, 1 minute you're lost. But I thought Man U have started really sluggish. I thought Wolves were so athletic amongst them.
Forest 2-0 up.
You're still getting ridiculous odds on Forest to win that, you know.
2-0 up in 4 minutes. That is incredible at Old Trafford. Ball in field for Port Vale here, trying to get onto the front foot again against Carlisle United. We're just up into the 6th here. It comes out to Mitch Clark, who's been really lively early in this game. Just lofts the ball forwards. Huntington heads it away. The number 19, Massey, gets onto it. Vale win it back in the midfield. Ojo looking to get touches on the ball. Slid in behind Carlisle once again. Mellish had to be careful. Clark got there. Cut back into the middle. At the back post. It'll be picked up by the number 10. Works it onto his right foot. Carlisle really being stretched here. Shot goes through. Ricochets behind for a corner. Vale are really on top of Carlisle here, and Mitch Clark is running amok on this right-hand side. If United don't adjust, they're going to go behind here, Chris.
Yeah, well, I think earlier Paul Simpson was saying to Mellish, just make sure you get yourself across. But you know what? This is what you expect from home teams, especially in League One. They're going to pile the pressure on. What Carlisle have got to do, it's the same as my time. You've got to get used to it, get a grip, slow the game down, and then play your way into it. So there's going to be big saves to be made.
Big moment. Here comes the corner, swung into that Carlisle penalty area. You can see the number 6 holding the man, manages to head down, running onto it, James Wilson, that rifles it over the bar. Good headed win by Nathan Smith. He's only 5'11", Chris. Should he be winning that?
No, not really, but I'm more concerned. Well, I'm happy. Well, you wouldn't want it to fall to Wilson, would you, with his technique? And he gets that. When the manager in Port Vale probably look back at that on Monday or whatever, they'll think that's a massive chance.
All depends on how the scoreline works out here today. At the moment, United really are reeling here. Port Vale playing a way that has really worked for them since the opening day of the season, when they were pounded at Barnsley. Paul Simpson gets the ball to him. The 4th official has a hold of it here, and we'll give it to John Mellish to throw down the line. Some instruction for Mellish from the 4th official. A bit busy from him. Mellish prepares to take that. Down the line he goes. Here it comes. In search of, plans to flick on. Moxon gets onto it, nods it in towards Maguire, but it's cleared again. In behind Carlisle. Huntington heads it forwards. Armour flicks down the touchline. Plans trying to keep it in play. Flag goes up, throw into Port Vale in the right back position. No goals yet in League 2, although Lincoln might just be about to go ahead against Blackpool. 3 goals already in the Premier League, 2 inside 4 minutes at Old Trafford for Nottingham Forest. Unbelievable scoreline. Earlier Tottenham won 2-0 at Bournemouth to go top of the table, at least until 5 o'clock. Ball over the top here for Port Vale. Again down the right. Clark even winning his header there over the head of Armour. Then gets the give and go back in. Slides it into the area. Huntington cuts it out. Armour can get a foot on the ball. Clark closing him down. Lofted over the top. Not a terrible ball, that one, if it had just made it a touch further to Maguire. Carlisle don't win the 2nd or 3rd ball in midfield, nor the 4th ball, which drops to Wilson, edge of the area. Massey slides it out to the left. They're second best to everything at the moment, Chris, out on that left touchline. United really need to try and get some sort of foothold in this game, even if it's someone slamming into someone, if they can get close enough. Out on that left touchline, they're running at United for fun here. It's like watching an FA Cup match at the moment with a Premier League team or something. They really are teasing Carlisle. Edge of the area, stepping away from Moxon there all too easily. Arblaster, the on loan Sheffield United man. Ojo coming deep for the ball. Now in behind Carlisle again. Good touch from Massey. In between two Carlisle defenders. In the Carlisle penalty area. Out to the right wing. Back to Clark. There must have been 10 or 15 passes in this move since Carlisle touched the ball. Little touch round the corner. And United get on it through Guy. Passes forwards to McCalmont. Out to the right to Maguire. Can he have a go at his man? McCalmont giving him a run in midfield. Better from Carlisle. Tries to lift it out. Left hand side towards Plange. Can he get there? I think he will. At the byline. Left of that box. Oh, he just couldn't keep it in play. Looks a bit awkward going for it on his left foot. Chris didn't look at all comfortable. And when you felt him, once he got there, he should have kept in.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think we said good ball from McCalmont, but he's got to angle it a little bit more towards the goal. But you know, Port Vale look great going forward, but every time we have a little bit of sustained pressure, there's a lot of gaps.
They're looking over for Clark again, and they've found him out on this right touchline. Great ball from Ripley, the goalkeeper. Down the line it goes. Mellish touched it. For me, I thought that was already out of play when Mellish tackled, but he at least made sure Massey didn't get there. Thrown to Vale, right to the Carlisle box. Looked to potentially cross in from deep here. Lewis Cass on the ball. Passes infield. Ojo having a lot of touches in the last few minutes. Slides it out left hand side. Good footballing side at the moment, Port Vale. Be nice to see if United could ask a few more questions of them. At the moment, Vale just enjoying their afternoon here. Sun not out here, but feels like it's coming out on Port Vale right at this moment. Massey on it. Slides it off to the right hand side, and Cass stepping out the centre of defence. Popping little passing triangles around Carlisle men on the edge of United's own box. On the ball, Ojo gives it to Massey. All two-touch stuff.
This is one of the best Port Vale sides I've seen in a hell of a long time.
Cass looking for the angle into that penalty area. Down the right-hand side, picks out Clark. He lifts it onto his left, swirls the ball into the box, head towards goal, over the bar. Everything but the girl at the moment from Port Vale. They really are the real deal here. Carlisle cannot get near them, and thankfully their finishing has been off in these opening 10 minutes, Chris. It's 0-0 just into the 11th, but Port Vale asking all the questions.
Yeah, Lavelle's just having to go Huntington, and Moxon's biting back. I think, you know, I feel for Moxon because he's feeling he has to go out to the right back quite a bit. He's wanting Maguire to drop in, but if Maguire drops in, then we've not got an out ball. Paul Simpson just now, you know, is telling people what to do. He's telling John Mellish just to come across a little bit. Paul Huntington's telling John Mellish just to stay where he is at the minute. Do not think about going forward and being gung-ho. You're away from home in a League One tie. You know, there's only 10 minutes gone. That comes after 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, drop back to the 5 if you need to. Oh, guys turned on the ball. Wilson's picked his pocket. Got around him. Little break on here for Port Vale. Slid out. Ojo's got the runner again. Down the right here. It's Mitch Clark running against Armour, trying to keep up with him. Struggling though. Clark looks very fit, very sharp. Has the look of a rugby league winger about him. All upper body and power on the left-hand side. Back into the goalkeeper it goes. Looked like they were going out to the left, but just centrally with the goalkeeper Ripley. He does swirl it out the left-hand side to Plan. Brings it down. Looks down the line on his left foot. I think it might be Jacoviti actually out the centre of their defence there. Two wide centre halves are playing more as wing-backs at the moment, and their wing-backs are just all-out wingers.
Yeah, but that's happened when you've got good control of the ball. I think we've settled a little bit now. You know,
ball out of play. Carlisle get a throw in. First mistake from Port Vale of the afternoon.
Yeah, for all they've got possession of the ball now, we've just dropped. We've had a little rethink. You know, as Mellish has been told, stop going forward just for now as we get our bearings. Be a little bit tighter. Be a little bit more compact. And yeah, it then becomes, you know, Port Vale like to have the ball, but they're not hurting us. At first they were just going through the gears a little bit too easy. Clark was getting in, and now we've just seemed to have tightened up. And you know, if we use the ball better, as I've said earlier, there's a few gaps in Port Vale here.
Yeah, no doubt the way they're pushing forwards. An early penalty at Holker Street has made it Barrow 0, Wrexham 1. An Elliot Lee penalty. So Wrexham lead 1-0 at Barrow in League 2.
Good.
Might have said League 1 there, but anyway. On the ball, Moxon anchoring that Carlisle midfield. Out to Mellish on the left touchline. Pass forward. He's absolutely nowhere near anyone. That is really poor from Mellish. Just not looking up, just getting rid almost. And then Lavelle has to step out and foul his man middle of the Carlisle half.
Yeah, what you've got to do there for Mellish, he's got to put it into an area just in between full-back. Well, not even that, over the wing-back. And it's a great area for Plange and Maguire to get on, but he's kind of just went for power, and it went straight back into Port Vale. But it was a good play from the goalkeeper there. He put it out to Armour, good touch Armour, into Mellish. He thought, here we go, here we're going to build. And it was a bit, you know, erratic from Mellish.
Yeah, it was erratic, good word for it. Just one of Carlisle's star performance for the last 2 years. You just need a bit more from him there. Looked flustered, didn't he?
Yeah, but they've not been in this position for a hell of a long time, have they? These, as we said, athletes, better players, going through the gears quicker, and it does come as a shock to a system, but as I said, they've got to make sure they don't concede and then grow into the game, which we know they can.
Chisler over this free kick, 14th minute, just to the right of centre, an almost slap bang in the middle of the Carlisle half. And they're going to try and swirl it over the defensive line. Carlisle are lined up maybe a yard into their own penalty area. A few of the Port Vale forwards beyond them at the moment. I'm sure they'll allow the Carlisle defenders to drop behind them and push forwards and get onside as it's swirled out towards that back post. That is big, and it's dropped, and it should be a goal kick. And the officials, I don't think the liner wanted to get involved on this near side. The referee took his time and gave a goal kick in. Port Vale haven't argued too much. I wonder if goal line technology might have come into play were this a Premier League game there, because I actually half thought the Vale man managed to head it down onto the Carlisle defender on the byline, Chris.
Yeah, it did look a little bit like that, to be honest, but I thought it was a bad free kick at first, but then it looked a good one. It stayed in play and the lad was on the end of it.
Oxford 1, Charlton 0. Lincoln 1-0 up against Blackpool.
It's a good kick that from the keeper. Almost just been edged out of it, but keeps it in play up the pitch. Good battle for Armour, who usually wins them.
Yeah, into those wing areas. Mitch Clark's only 5'8", but his stature on him, Chris. He's a big leap.
I think Armour's left him a little bit, and Cass, the right back, comes over and deals with them headers. So they've got that quite a bit like us, well organised that way.
Ball back into the centre of their defence. Ojo just anchoring in the midfield. Will look out right hand side, gives it to Cass, the right of their back three. He drives forwards up towards the edge of the penalty area. Ball through to him. He gets back onto the return ball after the tackle there from Armour. And in the end, the tackle, McCalmont feels it's a goal kick. Well done, McCalmont, and well done, Lino, on this near side.
Yeah, well done, Lino, because I just thought bit of a crowd behind them. Cass is right in front of them. Better. Just midfield three are finding it tough at the minute, aren't they? They've not had a lot of the ball. They're all ball players. They'll be getting frustrated, Moxon, etc. But they've just got to make sure he's up against Ojo now. Big battle between them two. And as we know, Moxon gets stronger and stronger as games go on. It's a big test for him.
It's plateaued a little, hasn't it, Chris? In that Carlisle have calmed it just slightly, because it was really was when, not if, in the opening 6 or 7 minutes. Now we're up to the 16th, and suddenly they're not breaking through. And there you go, mistake from Cass. Now a poor ball forwards. Carlisle should tidy this back to the goalkeeper through Huntington to Andressen on his left foot, which isn't as good as Thomas Hole is. Cut out in the middle of the Carlisle half. Just missed kick downfield by Andressen there on that left foot. No chance to get it onto his right. Had to clear. Now they're bringing it forwards and out to the left hand side here. Plant on the ball, sort of an inside forward as wing back on that left hand side. Pops it round the corner, looking for the give and go into the box. Nice feet, gets across in. That's an excellent tackle from Finback there, because Plant really was motoring around Carlisle on that left flank, and thankfully Finback was able to snuff that one out for a corner.
Yeah, it was good play again, but we got back in the numbers. We made sure that we were behind the ball, but you're right, just going through the gears. Port Vale at times really comfortable with each other, aren't they? Really know each other's games.
17th minute, BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Port Vale 0, Carlisle 0. Here comes the corner, swerved in towards that back post. Huntington climbs highest and heads clear. Sent back in, they'll swirl it out left hand side. Decent enough ball, a sort of a percentage ball out to the left there that raspingly made it over to the far flank. Ojo anchoring that midfield again, the number 14 for Port Vale. That's nice. Good effort to forward pass, but now Mellish can drive forwards here for Carlisle United. Gives it inside to McCalmont. Out to the left flank, it comes with Armour. United have used possession well there. Down the left hand side, Plan just come out to this left flank at the moment. United have only got Maguire really in that penalty area. Down the line it goes for Mellish. Gets to the byline, cuts it back. Flag stays down and turn behind for a corner to Carlisle United. Much better the last few minutes.
Just as I said, called it after about 5 minutes. If we go forward, Port Vale, for all their attacking intent, they haven't got players who bust a gut to get back or get back in shape. And just there, we probably could have made a little bit more of it.
Christian Eriksen's got one back for Manchester United at home to Nottingham Forest, but they trail 2-1, and Brentford have taken the lead against Crystal Palace elsewhere in the top flight. Here it's goalless Carlisle at Port Vale. United really did look dazed, like a boxer in the corner after a first round absolute drubbing in the first few minutes, but in the last 10, to their absolute credit, they really have found some foothold, and now an attacking corner. Armour over it, left-footed in-swinger in towards the near post, takes a bounce, awkward, falls to Guy on the edge of the area, slides it off for Moxon to take on the drive. Good hit. That wasn't far over the bar. Don't know how wide it was from the angle we're at, but it can only have been a foot over the bar as it went past and into the fans. The goalkeeper didn't look troubled though.
Yeah, goalkeeper watched it go by, but that's better. Good appreciation pass from Guy as well, just puts it to Moxon Moxon so he doesn't have to break stride. They look a bit more confident now, don't they? Mellish has now come over to Clark. Armour stepped on a bit, and that's what it takes sometimes in games. You can't have it all planned from minute one. You've got to have a little bit look around. And the lad's not really liking having to play against Moxon now. Ojo, who was, running the show early on.
Good advantage from the referee there. John Mellish has almost sort of tackled a man with his head there on the foot, and the referee played advantage. And Carlisle were down the other end, but they've wound up with their own goalkeeper. Anderson fires it forwards here, looking towards Maguire. He can't win that next header. Huntington arguably shoved his man, and then Moxon snaps into the tackle. Gets plunged onto the ball, edge of the area here. Maybe take on the shot. Take on the shot, man. He does take on the shot. Just wide of the goalkeeper's far post. He could have really run onto that one. Just didn't quite have the desire, did he? The belief in himself to run and hit it. In the end, he didn't fully get hold of it, and it just squirms wide. But the goalkeeper beat him there, and they sat right off him, Chris Lumsden. You feel he could have gone in another couple of yards.
Yeah, well, he's going to hit it at one point, decided not to, and then they dropped even more, so he managed to gain a couple more yards. Being harsh, got to hit the target. For me, got to hit the target, but the keeper was scrambling. But that'll give him confidence. They backed off and they backed off. Great win from Moxon in the middle of midfield. Putting the lad right on his bum, I'll have to say it.
Let's go with backside. I think you can get away with anything anything above backside, and we're into dangerous territory. Header clear from Huntington. Now Carlisle just plunging. Maguire didn't quite communicate there, and Cass comes over, tidies it back to Ripley in goal for Port Vale. All of a sudden, this game's at risk of swinging here. Carlisle United were thoroughly second best for 6-7 minutes. They really have started to get a stranglehold of it now. Although here come Port Vale again. Nice touch in that midfield. Ball over the top. Lavelle should be able to tidy this back to his goalkeeper, and he does.
Both good talking goalkeeper, good company of Vel. Could hear it kind of from here.
And Anderson bowled out early and gets Carlisle away on the front foot. Maguire, it took a right wristed the defender Iacoviti there. Header back, and it went over Maguire, bounced and over plunge. What a risk that was, Chris.
Yeah, Maguire looks a lot sharper, doesn't he? It wasn't his fault. He's not been fit coming in, but every game training. Ball behind there, and Huntington's left it, and he's lucky. And he's giving it back to Massey, and Massey couldn't get hold of it. Well, he left it and pointed to the goalkeeper who was nowhere near it. It was rash. And then when Massey couldn't quite gather it, and he had the chance to send it back to his keeper, massively underhit the back pass into Massey, and Massey couldn't get it under his spell, and it went through to the goalkeeper there. A real nervy moment, Chris. Yeah, great play, Plange. Trying to get up the other end of the pitch here. Moxon spins on the edge of the area. Nice footwork. Sends it out to McCalmon. Out to the right touchline. Finback's done well to recover that. Wasn't a good ball to him from McCalmon. Now Moxon, just a little body swerve, slides away from his man, dragged his foot over the ball. Back out to that right touchline with back. Infield it comes to Lavelle. Carlisle just keeping possession. Little smatter of applause, probably from both sets of players, fans there, that Port Vale have edged Carlisle away, but also that Carlisle have kept possession. Lavelle out to back on that touchline again. Little pod round the corner. Running onto it, Maguire up towards the edge of the area. Closed down. Looking for the pass across that box. Gives it on to Callum Guy. Further over to John Mellish. What can you conjure? Out to the left touchline now, and Armour. Back in field it comes to Guy. Little pass around the corner. Maguire thought about the spin and shot. Falls to Moxon. Little pod into that area. Little looping chip in there. Just too much on it. Probably should have taken on the shot, Chris. He's got me exactly the same feelings as Paul Simpson there. Got it massively in your locker to hit that target. But he's got it in the locker to put in a plate there for McCalmon, but just skids away. But with his ability there, they worked it really well. 10-15 passes, and then you get him in an opportunity 22 yards out. You want Moxon just to go for the smash. Much better now. Yeah, really. Blanche has kept the ball really well. The last few times it's went into him. Maguire looks a threat. Yeah, the two of them look lively up front for Carlisle here, and suddenly they look a lot more worried by Carlisle than they did early on. Armour under this punt forwards from their goalkeeper, and Mitch Clark not even challenging this one, and that's a clever flick around the corner from Maguire there, and I don't think Plange was quite on his wavelength, or he might have got in behind Cass. Yeah, it's a tough one. You want it the other way around though, don't you? Probably want Plange knocking that on from Maguire into space. Possibly, but I think Plange is pretty quick, isn't he? Maybe not as quick as Maguire, but we'll see as this game goes on. Nick's back here by Maguire, dragged down, free kick Carlisle. He looks so sharp. They've gone into the transfer market to bring in Terrier Blade from Fulham, and maybe that's just the
little bit of inspiration that one or two of their players needed. Certainly the way that Port Vale game at them has sort of pushed Carlisle into something different here, and they've really returned the favour and are now going right at the Valiants. And Maguire and Plange are leading that with a real spearhead up front.
He's clever though, isn't he? Very clever, Maguire.
Just waited for the loose touch, didn't he? Got in front of his man and made the defender foul him.
Exactly, just excellent play from him.
Moxon over the free kick. Peterborough have taken the lead against Derby County. I think I'm seeing Wigan have had a man sent off at home to Barnsley. Interesting to see if they can survive that one. Wickham lead 1-0 at Bristol Rovers elsewhere in League One. Ball in from Moxon. Great ball, header, one in there. Was it Plange? Got up, he was under pressure. It wasn't a free header, but once he was up there, he probably should have hit the target, Chris.
Yeah, for me, you've got to hit the target. I'm not saying score, but yeah, when you're in that sort of position, kind of the Edmondson ones, isn't it? When it comes in there, you want your goal scorer, a header of the ball, to hit the target.
It's a dotted line under the chance, that one, not a solid red line, Chris, for a good chance, because he did have to work very hard to get there. It wasn't a comfortable header, but having got above his man, you probably feel he should have made more of it. Good tackle in the midfield there, great tackle. Home fans appeal for the free quick. Carlisle bring it forward with Maguire out to the right hand side. McCalmont tried to cut it back, defender had to be there. Home fans booing the officials, but they're wrong, as they often are. And I'm not just talking about these home fans, but all home fans, when they like to try and influence an official not giving what they think should be their ball. You don't know what you're doing, rings around.
Looking at their manager complaining, he used to love a tackle.
Ball across the edge of the penalty area as Carlisle get back onto it. Moxon drills it out to Finback, who dealt with it no problem. Sends the cross in, looping in towards the back post. Goalkeeper palms it over the bar. Carlisle corner.
Yeah. Well, you've got to be honest, poor from Finback, but it nearly ducks in. I think at one point Finback, the next time he gets it, knowing what he's like, I think he'll go past the player. Well, he'll try and take the player on. The last two, he's passed it. He's trying to cross it, so the defender's backing off this time. Next time, I think he'll go at him.
Carlisle corner, Armour over it. 26th minute on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport, 0-0 here. Carlisle at Port Vale. Carlisle attacking though, swinging the corner in towards that back post. Goalkeeper nowhere again. McCalmont gets onto it. Clever little pass on the edge of the area. Can Plange keep this? No, he's lost it. Port Vale could now try and get it. Carlisle, great tackle here from Armour initially, and then was he fouled? Surely a foul. The referee does give that one, quite right. Home fans not happy. They feel they're not getting anything, but again, Chris, they're wrong, aren't they? Great tackling back from Guy, and then the push into, I think it was Finback, put him over Guy from the Vale man, and that's why it's a free kick, and the referee might wind up booking someone here. Massey might have talked himself into the book.
Yeah, I think, what it looked like, the Port Vale players will see, the two Carlisle lads collide into each other and then run free. But what happened was Massey just gave a little shove into Callum Guy, and that created that whole situation.
Now, this atmosphere, Chris, is going to ask questions of Tom Reeves in the middle there for Carlisle, because he has to stand up to this. The home fans are already on his back. Their manager's on his back. The fourth official's getting it. He's got everything right so far for me, Chris.
Yeah.
But has he got that mental strength to stand up?
Great ball.
That's a good ball forwards. Maguire maybe into the penalty area. They've just managed to clear it out left-hand side, Port Vale. Plant took a risk. Carlisle have nicked it. Edge of the area. Falls to McCalmont. Next free kick that was even close to 50-50 goes to Port Vale.
Yeah, similar in the Scunthorpe manager's Crosby, isn't it? They're just looking at each other going, because they both know that's not the foul, and they're just having a laugh.
Yeah, and Gavin Skelton's with the fourth official now saying, how is he giving that? Just because he's getting a bit of stick for getting decisions right, but how is he giving that?
Yeah, fair play at the Port Vale manager as well. He's saying we got that because of that one.
Enthralling watching the dynamics in games like this, the frenetic pace that it's at. That start from Port Vale might have had them 2-0 up in this game. They really were devastating early on, but since then they've retreated back into themselves. Hermit crab, aren't they? Just sort of withdrawn that little bit, and Carlisle United suddenly have more space and time to assert themselves, make their own impression on this game.
Yeah, and they just took a little time to sort it out, Carlisle, and as you said, it was imperative they didn't concede. They haven't, and now they've grown from that, and now at the minute we're a better team.
Yeah, Moxon on the ball. Oh, that's a good square pass to McCalmont. Further over now to Finback. It's a bit beyond him, but Finback should retrieve it on the right touchline. Plays it down the line, one for Maguire to chase after. The defender comes very tight to him. and wins the ball back, and Plant brings it away.
The Calmont's pass forces Finn back wide, then his pass ends up being wide for Maguire.
I mentioned early on that Andresen couldn't clear under pressure on his weaker left foot, quite like Thomas Holy. Well, it's very evident now that he is left-footed, so he's taking every clearance on his left foot. Free kick given, and that's another one that the referee's got right. Just 10 yards into the Carlisle half, Moxon was having a bit of a nibble at the Port Vale midfielder all the way through, and when he finally released the ball, the Vale midfielder, it went to a Carlisle man, and the referee quite rightly gave it, and he gets the ironic cheer, but just good refereeing. Ball forwards, Cass on the right hand side, wanting the give and go. Little take round the corner. He's lucky the way that got through into Mellish, and he gets the throw in. Sometimes you come against players like that, Chris, don't you? Didn't do anything there, Cass, just opened his leg, tried to flick it, hopefully, and gets the side of throw in when really he should have lost possession.
As you say it, sometimes the luck's with you, or there's chance.
Ball in behind down the right hand side here. Mitch Clark, I think that's out of play. The referee says no. I disagree. The linesman, rather, on this near side held out that flag. I saw green space in between ball and line there, Chris.
It's I think it was a good weighted ball. I think the zip on the pitch took the ball away, and then as you say, I've seen a bit of space there. Defended well though, got back in numbers.
Curvature of the ball and all of that, if you're right there as the liner is, you could say not all of the ball, all of the line, but that looked out to me. Either way, it was defended by Carlisle, but at the expense of a corner to Port Vale. In from Chislett, their number 10 on this right hand side. Little bob of hair swept behind his ears. Header clears for Carlisle United as the corner comes in, picked up by the number 18. Good first touch out of his feet, surely going to shoot. Slaloms onto his left, got no real left for that shot. In the end, gets some form of cross into the area, finds Wilson, spins, shot, corner. Good defending Carlisle, kept Wilson at bay. The number 18 running through there was very lively. That was Oliver Arblaster there, on loan teenager from Sheffield United. Certainly looked more right than left as he went through, but managed to conjure something, Chris.
Yeah, done well, drove at him. But Carlisle post, am I just seeing David Dunn, number 2, it looks like, Crosby there, ex-Barrow.
Very popular spell at Barrow. Referee just spotting something on the goal line there and coming to talk to somebody. Sure who it is. Who's he having a word with here? It's bringing over Massey and Finn Back, I think it is. Gavin Massey, the former Wigan man. Another who was very good for the first 6 or 7 minutes, Chris, but has done less since. Port Vale just trying to wrest a bit more control back into this game from Carlisle. Here comes the corner. It's a lovely swung. And Moxon's header at the near post was nearly a very, very fine finish into the Carlisle net. It was a great header if you're an attacking team. Nearly found the bottom corner. Andresen would have got nowhere near it. Thankfully, it drifts just beyond for a goal kick to Port Vale.
That was a nervy one, because you just thought, as it's just...
You will not come much closer to an own goal without scoring than that. Unbelievably close. Man running in edge of the area. Plan just got him spotted. Man short as well for this corner. Has drawn out 2 Carlisle men, which should give them what they want, which is the extra body. Here comes the corner from Chislett. Another outswinger to the back of the 6-yard area. It's going to drift beyond everyone. Plan should have time. Takes a touch. Then another. Running out towards that right touchline. Ojo trying to hold him up. Looks to running gun down past him down that right-hand side. Good pace. Gets around his man. Poked out to play by Ojo. That's fantastic from Plange, that is, Chris. He must have made 60 yards territory there, including that banana kick. Put the ball around the right, went around the left, got onto it, and worked a thrown out of his man.
And that's why sometimes you can't judge people on goals. The rest of these players, he's given them a massive breather now. A few of them just adjusting their shin pads and boots, etc., and he's done that for them.
Can I adjust that to say you can't judge them on goals alone, because we do need someone to score goals. One in the last 4 is a problem, but I do know what you mean. Lovely nutmegs from Owen Moxon. Then he looks to slide the ball in, back post to Armour. Armour's going to do well to get onto that. He's done well, kept that in play. Now the flag's gone up. Goal kick to Port Vale. The first bit there from Moxon was delightful, Chris. I'm not sure what that ball was, to be honest.
I think what Owen Moxon's probably going to realise right here is that he's got the makings to go past people here and go right at the heart of the defence, and there could be a goal or two for him. I think he's leaving people for dead when he's dribbling.
Just megged his man there, hasn't he? And then tried to chip it to the back post for Armour when again the shot might have been on. Armour's got on the front foot there, wins the ball forward. Carlisle gather the second ball in the midfield. Might just break here to Armour in the area, cuts it back, and it's turned away by Port Vale. That was a great ball from Guy. Armour initially trying to get onto it, played the ball through. Port Vale cleared. Armour, Guy in the midfield, first time pass back out to Armour on the left, got into the area, cut it back, looking for a forward, and Port Vale did well to defend it behind. But great play, Callum Guy.
Yeah, but that's the best thing. I know the pass was good, but the ball bobbled in the centre mid, and he was on the front foot. He was first to it, just like the Callum Guy that we know. First to it, passes it with purpose, and Armour does the right thing. But you've got to give credit to Port Vale. They got people back.
Moxon holds his left arm up, then both arms up. Who knows what any of that means? Up go both arms again as he prepares to take this corner for Carlisle United. I wonder if that's the signal for goal. Here it comes, in towards the near post, headed away, another corner.
Yeah, wasn't a great looking at the lad headed it out, to be honest. I think he just got underhit it a little bit, and it was going towards the keeper, but thankfully I think it was Wilson decides to head it out.
Destined
Port Vale everyone back.
Destined for the side netting, wasn't it, that one? Peterborough Derby's now 1-1, and Exeter have just taken the lead at home to Reading. Here comes a much deeper corner towards that back post from Moxon. Carlisle keep it alive though, headed into the middle. The goalkeeper's had to touch it away. Falls to Moxon on the left of the penalty area. Slides it off to McCalmont, looking for somebody. Callum Guy, edge of the box. Can he get the shot away? Can he? What a strike! Goalkeeper, very good save actually. Over on the left-hand side of his goal. I thought that was flying into the top corner. The goalkeeper's positioning, you might argue, Chris, was a bit off. He was right over to the left of his goal, which made it easier for him to get there. If he was in the middle, he'd have got nowhere near that.
Yeah, well, a couple of season, isn't he? A couple of thunderbolts a season Callum Guy's got, and that was one of them.
Cross in towards goal, diving header didn't quite come off, and now Port Vale will try and break. Moxon slid in, great tackle again. Finn back on that right hand side, fancies the run against Chisler. The top scorer for Port Vale gets to the byline, gets the corner in, hacked away by Iacoviti.
Well, the 18, is he on loan from Sheffield? Did I hear?
Yeah,
he doesn't like a tackle. He's looking at the ref. Owen munched him twice. And Carlisle, it's turned into a very, very good performance, this.
It has. Who'd have thought that, Chris, 5 minutes in? Well, I mean, you couldn't keep up with it in commentary, Port Vale, with that rapid.
Yeah, but as I say, you stay in games.
Top save from the goalkeeper, that, you know. Just, I think, ball comes in here. Carlisle trying to get there. Moxon again. The goalkeeper came out and gathered it well. Crosby wants it sent out right-hand side. Lifted instead, straight over the top, looking for number 29, James Wilson, and then Callum Guy plays it off his man down the line for a throw on the right hand side. The way he struck that, Chris, I know I keep going on about this strike, but it would have been an absolute goal of the season, wouldn't it? It was hit so hard, he absolutely middled it. Yeah. It was like a six that goes 20 rows deep as it goes over the rope in the cricket. Ball down the right now for Maguire, trying to run at his man, goes around him, gets the free kick right on the edge of the area, and it was a pretty crass tackle actually. I think later in the game that's a yellow card for Smith.
Well, Maguire just showing his quality there, sucks the lad in, and then just dinks it past him, draws the foul right on the edge of the penalty area as well.
Tell you what, Carlisle fans, all of a sudden, as Chris says, this is turning into a really good performance from Carlisle United. And who'd have thought half an hour ago would be saying that?
Well, you just got to stay in it, you know. As I said, teams start fast. You just got to keep them out, regroup, and that's exactly what we've done.
I think the tweaks from Paul Simpson helped. I think the way he just, as you talked through some of the things he's clearly talked through in his career with you, Chris, just got them to drop that bit deeper, take fewer risks, and grow into the game.
Yeah, don't have to win the game straight away. I wonder if Moxon tries and bluffs the keeper here.
Mike Moxon shoots right on the right-hand corner of the area. Both Armour and Moxon are over it. A right footer or a left footer on the angle gives the goalkeeper two different things to worry about.
He's just checking, isn't he?
Here comes Moxon, who's gone at the near post, and it's hacked away by the defender, and it will be another Carlisle corner.
Yeah, I think the little run up from Armour was just to see if the keeper did take a step to his side, and then that leaves that little bottom corner for Moxon to bluff him and go around that way.
It was sort of a JJ Okocha style free kick, that, wasn't it? Just trying to catch the goalkeeper out shooting at the near post when the angle didn't really appear there. He liked one of those. Okocha? Google him, Carlisle fans, if you're too young. Chris Lumsden looks pretty vague, to be honest. Ball into the penalty area. Goalkeeper got a bit of a flap, turns it over his bar.
I can't remember him doing that with a free kick.
He did one with his right foot, so it was a right-footed free kick, and he was on the left, and he hit it on the outside of his right foot at the near post like that.
That was not like that.
Andy's absolutely brilliant. Anyway, corner to Carlisle United. All good things, whether you were going along with me on my Okocha or not. Here comes the corner
I'm looking at the Tell you where there's one. Got Callum Guys.
Corner taken short here, edge of the area. McCalmont over it. Pass a square. Guys in space. Shoots, thinks about the shot. In the end, it comes to Armour, who hits it. I think it might have even come off a Carlisle player in the area. Moxon recycles it to the left. McCalmont ball in. Defender heads it away. Moxon trying to get there. Was he fouled? Huntington keeps it alive. Carlisle men in there. Can Moxon get it down? Overhead kick goes just wide. Dear me, this game has had everything but a goal. 38th minute. An overhead kick from Owen Moxon trying to get Carlisle another outfield goal. Still, the ball won't go in, and still, it's Port Vale 0, Carlisle 0.
Yeah, but Maguire's eyes were lit up there as the ball came in. He was mid-dive for the diving header, but, good play from the Port Vale defender. He got there. And when we kept the pressure on, which is great, we've kept the pressure on second phase, third phase, even fourth phase, and just kept Port Vale pinned back.
Another stunning advert for this level, Chris. What a game of football this is. What quality there is from both teams. Port Vale's start was breathtaking. Carlisle United's re-emergence in the game has been something to behold as well. I just hope they can take more than plaudits from this game today. They deserve it the way they played the last 30-odd minutes. Port Vale throw on the right-hand side, middle of the Carlisle half, in towards the last 5 minutes of the half. We're in the 39th, edge of the area. Nice little take of the ball from Wilson. Plant will step inside here, trying to find the angle for a right foot shot. Opens up the space. Anderson saves straight to the striker, who's offside. Turns it home, but the flag is up. Carlisle's blushes are spared. Not the goal. I mean, the goalkeeper could have pushed it away. He just patted it straight out into the middle of his goal, Anderson there. But the amount of shots that Plant managed to do coming in off that left wing there, Chris, and every Carlisle defender fell for it.
Yeah, it was good play from Plant, but you know what, they're having a little go at each other, the defenders, but they've done it well. They got the offside. I think it's just because the player put it in the net that they feel that a goal kind of was conceded, but it wasn't. It wasn't their problem that Plant was coming in. They're just looking at wing backs or midfielders to cover them. Keeper saves. You're right, if we're being very critical, might be able to push it wide a bit more, but it's still a good strike and a good save from distance.
Yeah, kept it out. That's all that matters. Down the left, Carlisle try to go. Port Vale repel it. Huntington heads it downfield. Good touch from Guy. Really good play from Mellish as well, just to box his man off. In the end, Guy's ball forwards just drifts towards the goalkeeper. Taking a risk trying to dribble it out here. Carlisle haven't nicked it though. It's just great running from the number 7. I think it's sure it was. He's come a long way forwards there. It's the number 17, yeah.
Good job, Wilson took the ball back into the crowded area instead of scanning and taking it out this way.
Alex Iacovitti there, it was a great run out of the centre of defence. Feed it out to this right hand side, and Ojo being closed down by Armour. Now they swirl it around the corner. Carlisle cut it out. Moxon into McCalmont. Lovely turn there from McCalmont. Gets it to Moxon. Out to Armour on this left hand side. Promising for Carlisle. Sends the cross in. Oh, it was a big cross. Do you know what I mean? Just that bit high over everyone. And Carlisle couldn't get there. McCalmont nearly out there and does get out to tackle their number 10, but a foul on this occasion, the ref feels. I don't really know what the Port Vale fans are appealing for. 10 on 10, free kick, no problem with the foul, but I don't know what they think that should be.
Yeah, it's... McCalmont's got some lovely little touches in midfield there. In 1 and 2 touch, he takes a couple of players out the game. With the Armour cross, it's tough for the players, isn't it? It's a big old pitch and they're trying to get up with it. They're mindful as well of Port Vale attacking.
Oh, the referee's being brought over here, is he? No, he's not. No, I just thought he seemed to be running very purposefully over towards the touchline, but I don't think he is. He just veered away to get central, and now they're ball over the top, Port Vale. Lavelle with his man, shins it away. Oh, Finback nearly turned into the tackle there, and he's always taking a risk, giving it away on the edge of the penalty area, and the ref's giving the free kick. Now that is soft. Finback lost that ball there, Chris, and all of a sudden the referee not helping himself there, and neither was Finback on that occasion. I admire the ambition, Chris, but risk reward there. He gave it away on the edge of his own penalty area, trying to meg his man.
I agree. That's the first one where I thought, it's
where you agree with the home fans.
Yeah, I kind of think that was. I think we might have got away with one there.
Yeah, I don't think they could quite believe he gave that one, and that one sort of plays into the rhetoric that he has been a nightmare, which I don't think he has until that moment. Possibly that cheap free kick he gave to Port Vale after coming under fire from the home fans earlier in the match. 42 minutes gone in this game, still 0-0. It has been brilliant.
Yeah.
I absolutely love League One, Chris. I hope Carlisle can stay in League One, getting enough points. Good nick. McCalmont driving Carlisle forwards here, up towards the edge of the area. Man closing him down, just shrugs him off the ball. Good play, Ojo. And they try and pass it around Carlisle. Plange can't stop them clearing. Carlisle do, though, through Callum Guy, but he can't keep hold of it in the tackle with Chisler. Now they'll try and pop it around United and get away down the left. Good tracking back from McCalmont again. And in the end, they have to chip it back into the defence for Iacoviti. Crosby wants it. Their manager fired out to this wing.
What a great watch.
It's just brilliant, isn't it? Lovely take there from Cass, signed from Newcastle last year. Lewis Cass doing well. Down the right hand side, they'll look to come against Carlisle United. Infield, it comes to Mitch Clark running in, looks to just burn past men, edge of the area, tries to reverse the pass, found a man on the edge of the box, further man over on the left hand side, looking for the angle, charged down by Guy, brilliant. There was a suspicion of handball when he sort of fell onto it on the edge of the area there, but it would have been so cruel had the officials given that, and I'm delighted to report they didn't. Then Carlisle try and clear again downfield in a slightly risky area, trying to play it for a throw, and then it came back in field rather than out for the throw, and it's presented the ball back to Port Vale.
Yeah, just get a little head of steam. Just got to make sure we get through to half time again, regroup. Just going back to McCalmont, it's tough, isn't it? He's through, but the pace is gathering on with him, and he's looking for options.
He's a little man, isn't he, against a big man in Ojo, who just levered him off the ball in the end. He was trying to outmuscle him and get into a shooting position. Finback's gone a bit short again. He sold himself, and the man's out on the touchline. Jinx around him. Here comes the cross in from the left from Iacoviti, headed away Huntington, picked up edge of the area by the man, and that's a free kick. Lavelle, it's a dive. Lavelle's gone over very angrily to the man on the floor. The referee is getting it now from Paul Huntington, but was it Plant, the number 21, stepped inside and his legs went out by like Soberslay, the Liverpool one who won that really dodgy penalty at the weekend, just gone. He saw his legs both come out in that sort of swan dive on the edge there, and Carlisle players livid the ref gave it, in particular Lavelle.
They can go off players. To me it looked a foul, but then you went off Lavelle and Huntington, and then you went off the lad who was foul. He kind of ran away from it, didn't he? So
very sheepishly. Final 30 seconds of the first 45 plus whatever stoppages we get. Don't know how focused FIFA will be on the whole extra time thing. They've had one or two things to deal with the last week, haven't they? So whether we'll get 10 minutes at the end of this game, I don't know, but we've got 10 seconds left as I look at the clock. They're lining up this free kick.
I don't think it's just to the left. Crosby wants.
It's just to the left of the D, right on the edge of the Carlisle penalty area. Somebody with good technique could easily score from here. That's the challenge Carlisle face as we go into stoppage time at the end of this first half.
If the ball stays strong.
1 minute was that?
Yeah, that's why Crosby's having a bit of a pop.
Wow, 1 minute. Free kick then to Port Vale in the only minute of time added on at the end of this first half. Right on the edge of the Carlisle area. Shot. Good. Wall repels. They appeal for something. Shot. Goalkeeper gathers. Well done, Carlisle United. Fell to Arblaster on the edge of the area, and it was more of a poke from him, and the goalkeeper didn't gather it all in one, but did gather it most importantly. Clears downfield as Jokkel Anderson for Carlisle towards Plange. Great chest off there. Moxon couldn't get onto the second ball. Armour does. Well done him. Armour then fouled surely. The referee not giving that one, which was a bit of an aberration. Ball over the top here for Port Vale. Huntington taking no risk, puts it out of play. We're coming to the end of the minute. If I'm the ref, I just give this if they don't get a move on with the throw-in. They're taking it quickly. They're wanting to get it into the penalty area. Carlisle tracking back on the right-hand side, beyond the minute's time added on. The referee just playing on because Port Vale are attacking at the moment. Arblaster bringing it forwards. Carlisle forced them away. How long are you going to give them, referee? Do we just play on until they've had their shot? Out to the left-hand side. Plant trying to engineer an angle. Down the left he goes. Chops back inside. Gets it onto his right foot. Goes down. Referee. Half-time. Well done that he didn't give that one. Finback stood over Plant there on the far side, just looking at him after the way he went down there. But that is enough for the first half. An absolutely brilliant game of League One football, with Port Vale starting and ending the half perhaps just the stronger in 2 5-minute chunks, Chris, but for the 35 minutes in between that, Carlisle almost as good as I've seen them this season.
Yeah, great performance. You're right though, we mentioned teams, it's usually the case, and home teams come at you, they blast at you, they come out the traps, they're meant to do that anyway. Don't see it as much these days because a lot of
look like the team more likely to score, and perhaps on such moments you think of the start of this game and what it must have felt like for the Carlisle players, let alone you fans, and where they might finish up if this is where they get that first win. Another potentially a bit really starts from. Let's see if that is the case. The two sets of players back out there. No changes for either managers. Carlisle United to kick off in the second half. Going towards the end to our right, from left to right in front of me, James Phillips and Chris Lumsden, towards the fans on that right-hand side. And this, Chris, a really big half because they did so well. They deserve to get something out of this game of football now. It's all about whether they can. Yeah, at the minute, yeah. You know, it's going to be a long second half. We've got to play to the standards that we did first half. You know, you've got to earn everything in this game, and they've certainly earned to be in it. And, you know, they've definitely put Port Vale on the back foot and give them really something to think about, and knowing that we're dangerous on that break. Game's back underway now up and down the land, including Derby now leading 4-1 at Peterborough, as you were hearing there at half-time with Paul, having been behind in that one. Fleetwood have had a man sent off and now trail 1-0 at home to Shrewsbury, who Carlisle play next weekend at Brunton Park. Their next action, having this Tuesday off before the EFL Trophy starts the week after that on the 5th at Accrington. Barrow back underway against Wrexham, trailing 1-0 in the first half in League Two. This game here 0-0. And at the moment, Carlisle have had more of the ball in the first minute of this half, Chris, than they did in the first 8 or 9 of the first. Just trying to get a ball to take the throw in down the left. Here it comes with Mellish into that Port Vale half. Headed away by Massey. Mellish returns it with a half volley forwards. Comes down with Snow on it. Maguire won't win that battle against Iacoviti. Well won back though by Moxon, who was so quick off the floor. Then he lunged into the tackle. Didn't keep the ball. Tackled into his man, but his man ran away with the ball. And they get it out right hand side now with Wilson. Up towards the edge of the Carlisle defensive third. Oh, great play back from Mellish to come and shrug his man off the ball. Runs into the tackle. Carlisle sweep it delightfully through Moxon out to the right hand side. What can Maguire do here? Edge of the area, steps inside on his left foot, passes it on, shot coming in. Really good tackle actually. Maybe Maguire should have taken the shot. McCalmont nearly wins it back, but they managed to dig out the tackle. Now they'll break forwards again with Wilson. Sends it out left hand side. Finback struggling to get back into position with men all around him. Has done enough though to force them back in field. Arblaster on the ball, the on loan Sheffield United youngster. Nowhere to go, so passes sideways and backwards to the number 10. Goes down very easily there. The referee playing on. He's rolling around here. That is just nonsense. And the ref has played on. He said he's seen it. Look, there's nothing wrong with him. And he's getting back up and running forwards, Chris. Where are the booing home fans now? Here he is on the ball, running. The man who was rolling around on the floor until he realised he wasn't getting anything. On the left, here comes Plant. Had a lively first half for Port Vale. Chips in towards goal, and that'll be the most comfortable save that the new Carlisle goalkeeper, Yuckel Anderson, makes all afternoon. Just tamely gathering. Yeah, I think if the ball went out, McCalmont might have been getting booked, but I think staying in play. The referee just said to him, you've got one more challenge before yellow. I wouldn't mind the fourth official saying to the ref about Chislett, though, Chris. The way he went down, the way he rolled around, and then as soon as he realised he wasn't getting it, he got up and ran and joined an attack. Yeah. I think that sort of thing should be noticed as well by officials, not just, fraction late tackles. Great play from earlier, wasn't it? Maguire might be right, he maybe could have took the shot on, but good ball from Moxon, wasn't it? Whipped round into an area. And great thing about Maguire was he just went, very, very positive, didn't hold back, just got at his defender. Yeah, I love to see those swirled around the corner passes like that one from Moxon, and Maguire in the perfect position to receive it. Port Vale throw. Stafford now 1-0 up at Workington. Workington, might be 4 defeats on the trot if they were to lose today after their opening day drubbing of Ashton. Welcome back to MPL Premier. As Conor Tinian was saying, had been saying this week to his manager Danny Granger, it's a different world from the division they were in. Oh, Anderson's let the ball get away from him, then he's taken his man down in the mugs, and it's an absolute horror moment for the goalkeeper. The throw-in square, he tried to chest it down, miscontrolled it, and he brought his man down as he was running across him in the box. Off is the appeal. You can argue it's a genuine attempt for the ball. Whether the ref does or not remains to be seen, but on his debut he's brought a man down, conceded a penalty, and will there be further repercussions here for the Carlisle goalkeeper, Yuckel Anderson? The referee said to the Port Vale lads who was running away from goal, a few have turned to the throw-in. Was it John Mellish threw it? But whether he's threw it there or not, it has skidded up. He's still got to do better, hasn't he? He's let it go across his body, but just lost the flight of it, and now a penalty for Port Vale. Just the sort of moment Anderson was brought in to get rid of, and just the sort of moment Carlisle face anyway. Anderson against Wilson, already got one for the season. James Wilson, touted as a potential future England goal scorer at one point during his time at Man United, joined from Salford, his latest club at just 27. What's going to happen in this penalty area? Here comes Wilson for Port Vale, bottom corner. It's 1-0 to the Valiants, and it is a massive error from Carlisle's new goalkeeper.
Yeah, I need to see it again, because when you look away, you gather your notes, don't you, when the throw-in comes, because you know it's so predictable what's going to happen. But as I've looked back, there's a big spin on it. It's took the goalkeeper on the chest, stomach, ran away from him, and then he's got to commit to the challenge, hasn't he? Doesn't get it right, lad goes down. Quite rightly a penalty the referee's got to give. And then, Wilson not going to miss from there, as he's seen over the years how confident he can be.
Good penalty. Yeah, really good pens. Not a good start to the second half for Carlisle United. A huge error from the new goalkeeper. A throw into him. He was clearly thinking of what to do next and didn't get the ball under control. Went to chest it, let it run across his body and away from him. Two forwards running there. He had to dive and try and tackle. He's possibly a little lucky it wasn't worse than just the pen. Surprised it wasn't a yellow, and they were calling the home fans for a red. Now Carlisle have to respond, and they have to score to even get a point out of this game of football, Chris. Just the scenario we didn't want to see.
Yeah, I mean, certainly got a goal in us, haven't we? It's just the problem being now that we've got to come out a little bit more. We've got to take a few more little chances. That'll open gas for Port Vale, but we've seen first half, we're more than capable of creating chances. Now we've just got to get something on the end of it and make sure someone puts something away. Good response though, free kick up the other end, Moxon to put in.
Fingers crossed for Carlisle United. Need something probably early here if they're to chase that first elusive win of the season. 52nd minute, a couple of minutes after going behind. Moxon over this free kick. Referee blows. Watching that penalty area. Here come the runners in towards the back post, straight down the goalkeeper's throat. And then delivers downfield. Finn back, tidies it back to his goalkeeper. Anderson just missed, kicks it out of play for a throw in the Carlisle half, Chris. This is the only problem, Chris. You're putting a young goalkeeper now, displacing the number one. He's had he's made a big mistake in his opening game. Now you've got two goalkeepers who are going to be short of confidence. It's a big move, isn't it, changing a goalkeeper?
It is, but you've got to give people time. You can't just say that. You hear the Arsenal one. How many mistakes has he got? He's made the mistake. Everything else has been all right. He's had a little hash of it. A kick there, which every keeper does. He's got to respond now.
Yeah, and of course you almost expect that kick from him after what's just happened, but these are the things that managers have to make those big calls on.
Again though, it's about not conceding a second early on, and then Port Vale will be desperate for the win that they'll sit back. So there's plenty of football in this game.
Certainly is. Ball forward though, finds Massey in the Carlisle penalty area. Let's hope United can just find their way. I mean, they don't even need to find their way back into the game. They were that was a pull on play. Great layoff, first time ball over the top, and Maguire won't get there ahead of the goalkeeper, who can allow it back into his area and gather.
Well done, Plange, though. We're just missing that, when Plange goes back into midfielder there, we're just missing that legs that can just leave people behind, aren't we?
Hopefully a certain Terry Abblade on the bench can change that. Bringing it forwards here. Port Vale again out to the left hand side. Iacoviti runs on beyond the number 10, who dances away down that left hand side, slides it off to Iacoviti, chops inside his man, gives it back to Chisler, dances round Finn back, ball into the area, cleared away by Lavelle for Carlisle. Nearly cut through United there. Another chance on the edge of the box. Moxon can't make the tackle this time. Sliding in to try and get the shot away was Cass. Carlisle managed to repel them, but it's out to the man on the right hand side, Mitchell again. Chance to get that cross in once more here for Port Vale. Into the box, brought down, 2 touches inside the area, able to control, spin and shoot there, and no one near, absolutely no one near James Plant in that box. United have got to get their heads back in the game here, otherwise the game will go.
Yeah, I think if that falls to James Wilson, it's absolute game over, isn't it? But what's fortunate for us, it's failed to Plant, and he's just kind of lashed at it.
How's he so free? I know he's the left wing back, Chris, and I know that they're dancing out of position, but how is he so free to take that shot?
Yeah, it's, you know, as you say, sometimes you get caught in it. You get caught in the emotion of it. You switch off.
Trying to play it forwards, Carlisle, out to that left-hand side. Lovely flick from Plange, round the corner, down the left. Pass into the running Maguire. Was he fouled? Ref says no. Carlisle fans want the free kick, not getting it. Oh, they've just managed to break through. Carlisle down the left-hand side here. Massey running on. He's got a man inside him in Chisler. He's going the long way around Lavelle here. Lavelle's showing him a lot down the left, and he's done well just to urge him square, and then he, in the end, makes the tackle. And well trapped back, actually. Finn back there just to give him a little nudge there, Massey, to knock him off his balance. It is 1-1, by the way. Barrow Wrexham now in amongst that penalty for Port Vale, and Manchester United have equalised as well against Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. I'll get you the goal scorer that Lummy wants to know. It is Casemiro. So Ericsson and Casemiro with the goals. The most likely goal scorers as Port Vale try and come forwards again. Good tackle from Callum Guy, gets the ball away. Finn back can just clear downfield, but Plange after it here takes it brilliantly. You can see Maguire being held there. I wouldn't mind the referee's attention being drawn to that by someone. Plange takes his time, passes it in off the Port Vale man. Can go again here. Fancy stepping outside of him. Put it in. Edge of the area. Crosses charge down. Guy wins it back. Plays it square. McCalmont's there. Laid off to Finn back. Carlisle keep possession. Good. Just getting a touch more control. Lavelle square to Huntington. Out to the left-hand side they go now in Mellish. Armour long beyond him. Down the line to Armour. Looks in field for Moxon, who does well to just pop it back round the corner to Mellish. Over on the left. Nice ball in field now to Guy. Lay off good to Moxon. Can he find a teammate, Moxon? With that radar of his. Huntington comes square through Lavelle. They'll look over, will they to Finn back? No. Lavelle lifts it out left-hand side, looking for the run of John Mellish. That's a great ball. Mellish gets there, trying to get in there and just leave it off the ball with Maguire. He's angry. He kicks the frame of the goal. The defender casted a number on him there. Good defending. Goalkeeper's bowled it out and put the left wing back Plant under pressure. He's just itching to go over his Plant. You can see that by his body language. Emil Aqua scoring again for Barrow, by the way, equalising against Wrexham as Lavelle hurries his man out to play. Chisler with a right old pantomime pretending he thought it was their ball, and it comes off Plant and it's another throw to Carlisle. He's really doing well for Carlisle, Chris. Just want him central and getting a goal, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. He's doing a hell of a lot of good work off the pitch.
Ball from McCalmont back to back there was a demanding one, but backed out with it. Lavelle fires it back in field to Huntington in the centre circle. Carlisle on the front foot. Vale with every man behind the ball at the moment. Just gives it to Guy. Whipped out right hand side. Nice ball, Callum Guy. Finds Finn back, heads it down the line. It's asking a lot that of Plange, and Via will clear. Carlisle throw. Well inside the Port Vale half on this near side. Wolves have taken the lead at Everton. And it's Amari Patrick scored again for Sutton at Newport. And Sutton leading at Newport. And Fabio Silva has scored for Wolves. Another tricky game for Everton. As Carlisle get on the ball here with Plange by the corner flag. Right hand side, gives it down the line. First time ball in potentially from Finn back. One defender left it. Almost fell to McCalmont, edge of the area. Finn back trying to win it back. Callum Guy does get there. Lovely ball out to Plange on this right hand side. Sends a good ball in. Well attacked arm, and the defenders headed it up. Still alive in the penalty area. Maguire jumping for it. Oh, and in the end they've got it clear through Arblaster. Great clearance as well. He's got that 70 yards away. He's relieved all the pressure. Huntington just tries to swirl the ball forwards here for Plange. Chest is great into Finn back. Passes infield to McCalmont. Turns out of trouble to Lavelle. Good football from Carlisle this, although almost playing themselves into trouble, playing backwards to halfway when Massey was late coming back. Ball in field to Guy, bringing it forwards. United really knitting some nice stuff together here, trying to respond to going behind, which they are. Oh, and then the pass on the far side gives it away. VAR have intervened, and Fabio Silva's goal for Wolves has been ruled out. Still Everton 0, Wolves 0. 1-0 to Port Vale here, though. A James Wilson penalty conceded by Jukil Anderson, fouling his man after losing the ball when it was thrown into him. And then Finn back's pod round the corner wasn't good enough. Easily read by Port Vale. They'll try and break forwards here. Ball up to Gavin Massey on the edge of Carlisle's defensive third. Carlisle push him back to halfway. It's good enough. And we're not at the hour mark yet. Plenty of time for Carlisle, but they will want to try and stay on that front foot, Chris.
Yeah, exactly that. There's going to be times now where Port Vale do go forward. We've just got to keep in there. It's an unfortunate error for the goal. and you've just got to keep believing. But the response by the lads has been good. Good little Nick Lavelle.
Yeah, it was. Got a little toe on it, but Port Vale just keep possession. Running back to halfway, though. Great tackling back. McCallum wants, and they'll come away on the ball here. Don't know what their manager is appealing for. And they've kept it in play on the touchline. Carlisle haven't won it back, and they're running forwards now with Wilson. Gavin Massey looking for the reverse ball. Wilson all left foot, edge of the penalty area, opens up the space for Mitchell to get the shot away. Callum Guy heads it further away. Mellish chests it infield to Moxon, and Carlisle have done well to recycle possession on the edge of the area. 60th minute, 1-0 to Port Vale. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Jokel Anderson clears downfield. Good distance on that one. Maguire wins the header into Plange, edge of the area, takes it away from his man. Good hold-up play from United's number 27. Needs support, passes infield, finds Owen Moxon, shoots, goalkeeper bats it down. Maguire on the follow-up, was he fouled? No, and the referee I think feels that he pushed his man in the back, and here comes a change I think for Port Vale.
You can hit them Puma balls, can't you? If you get anything behind it, both sides, they're absolutely flying, and keeper again, makes a good save, but it's unorthodox, isn't it? It's kind of like get me fist there and just try and get it out that way. Great shot from Moxon. I'm glad he took that on. Plange having a really good game at the minute. Yes, you want him in that box, but he's doing so much great work in around it, holding the ball up, nice touches.
Chislett's gone off for them, Chris, and Ben Garrity has come on. Chislett's really faded, I thought, actually, Chris, and not a surprise actually to see that one. I don't know if he's carrying a bit of something, but Garrity's come on, the former Blackpool man. Already got 1 goal this season, as had Wilson coming into this game. Chislett was the top scorer on 3, but he's now off. Slightly tellingly with Carlisle this season, Port Vale have just taken off in one player more goals than Carlisle have scored in their entire squad all season. Out on the right here, Port Vale played off Armour and out for a throw-in, just in their half on the right-hand side. Just that problem with goals. Carlisle on another day could be 2 or 3-1 up here, Chris, but one moment, and what did we say at Oxford? Just one lapse in concentration cost you the game.
Yeah.
And here at Port Vale at the moment, unless Carlisle can just find their way through to goal and make something happen.
Yeah, plenty time.
That one lapse again, the difference between the two sides. Vale ball forwards, Lavelle should deal with it, wants to take his time. Nearly took it out for a corner. Dear me, be aware of your angles. And it's been given as a corner by the lino on the far side, trying to be clever and jockey it towards goal, realised it wasn't going to make it, then tried to step over the ball before playing it out, carries it out for a corner. Ojo taking his time to come over to take this. Fourth official getting interested because somebody in the Port Vale staff was out in the technical area. You know how they like getting interested on that, in between the dugouts. Corner then to Port Vale, near post ball. Good header away, picked up though by Vale on the edge of the area with Plant, trying to find a way around to get across, lay it off, gives it to Ojo. Strong tackle. Callum Guy might just get away with this. Break was on, always turned into the tackle on the edge of the area and right into congestion. 3 Port Vale men running into him, and they come away with the ball. Back out to the left-hand side, and Plant, lay off his paw. Finback slides in hard. Throwing given to Carlisle United. Manager appeals for absolutely everything.
Yeah, he's filled everything, but he's one of them players.
Most certainly is. Plange in the battle there, but well run by Ojo. One back by Plange. That should be a throw into Port Vale. Yeah, the lino there just didn't know and guessed, and was definitely wrong. Carlisle benefit this time. Throw into United, just inside the Valiant half on this right-hand side. 1-0 Carlisle trail here. Finback on the right touchline, just scoops it down the line. Plange holding off his man Iacoviti, keeps it in play here. And a nice little drag back there, and then passes well in field to Callum Guy. That's good. Just didn't go to the easy first ball to McCallum. Picked up the ball that got Carlisle moving. Armour cross in towards goal. Header takes it just beyond, and it's Maguire got there ahead of his man, and he didn't get the right connection, and he's got his head hung as he comes out of the area. Beat his man to the ball, but too much of a glance, not enough on the meter touch of the head, Chris, and it drifts behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, sometimes them glances end up in that far corner. A bit like Moxon's kind of an own goal the first half. Great ball from Armour, just stops the ball, uses Mellish as a decoy, puts it on a head, and yeah, he'll be disappointed he's not scored that. Really, at least work the keeper.
Right on the edge of the 6-yard area. Lavelle wins his header. Finback will try and engage, but it was too close to the Port Vale man, and they popped it around Carlisle in the midfield. Plant coming in off the touchline. Finds Ojo. Further over to Cash, trying to break out of the Vale back three into the Carlisle half. To the right-hand side they come. Plant's come all the way across the midfield, which poses an extra man problem. He's broken into the penalty area. He's gone way too far. He's cut it back. It's nearly fallen to a Vale man in there, and Mellish in the end managed to get a foot on it. Now they'll try and break down that left-hand side. John Mellish marauding forwards. Leaves it on the touchline for Maguire. Passes infield to Owen Moxon. Who can he find? Finback trying to get away down the right here if he can be found. I thought Owen Moxon might have found the pass. Kept possession though out to McCalmont here on the right touchline. Gives it back infield to Moxon. Middle of the Port Vale half. Just asked it a bit too much of plunge there, and he was shrugged off the ball by Wilson, who quick exchange of passes with Massey.
Still got miles to go, haven't they, to get to that goal there.
Still 1-0 Port Vale, as it has been since the 50th minute. We're in the 66th. Already 16 minutes elapsing since that penalty. 25 plus stoppages to go. Plenty of time, but United don't want to leave it too late if they're going to challenge for a win here. Because 3 points out of 5 games, Chris, if that's what it is, still isn't brilliant. If they were to get the late point, they just want to get. You feel that if they can just equalise here, all the points are still up for grabs. But that's a lot for them to do, of course. Clearance downfield from Anderson for Carlisle. Headed down the line by Armour. That was good from him. Put it into a good attacking area, although Port Vale clear it back into the United half. Mellish under it. Heads it back up into the midfield. 2 Port Vale players collide, and somehow the ball works its way out, and they'll get in behind down the left-hand side here with Plant. Just looks to turn it round the corner into the Carlisle box. Lavelle under pressure, headed it away. Finback, was he fouled as he went for that one? Carlisle appeal, the ref unmoved, throw into Port Vale. I think it would have been soft in truth. Arblaster, little scoop ball to the edge of the area. Comes to Jacoviti out on this left-hand side. Thought he might cross. Instead passes it on to Arblaster, the 19-year-old on loan from Sheffield United. Borrows it from a player on the edge of the box. Tries the reverse ball in towards goal. Garrity with a chance to shoot, and Anderson pushes it away. Back to Garrity. Passes infield. Plant runs onto it. Couldn't quite find the angle. Wilson gets him out of his feet, and they've scored a second. Flag goes up. Oh, dear me. Good spot, Chris Lumsden.
17. Stop your celebration. Your silly celebration as well.
And the fans were onto the pitch as well, and stewards don't seem too fussed about trying to get him off. I don't know what he's doing, dancing around there in front of the fans, and they're just going to leave him to go back on. Well, the stewards come over to him now. Are they going to throw him out? Maybe they are, actually. Didn't seem that bothered by it, did they? Changes for Carlisle United, and Maguire comes off for Terry Ablade debut. Jordan Gibson and Ryan Edmondson coming on as well. Maguire's looked good, Chris, but he needed to put that one away, and they just now need something, don't they?
Yeah, it's what we've done is we've got around some great areas, we've got around in the pitch. As we said though, Maguire's still getting his fitness up, so it's a big old pitch this. He'll be getting his legs together. Now we've got a bit more up there, a bit more pace.
Warm applause for Ryan Edmondson, who helped Port Vale win their promotion up into League One. And plunges off for Jordan Gibson. McCalmont, the player, going off for Edmondson, Chris.
Yeah, it's changes that you're probably going to see. You probably know that's going to happen. So let's see. Let's just try keep the way we're playing, keep on the ball. Let's just see if there's any sort of difference in shape.
Gives them all 20 odd minutes to go here at Port Vale. I thought Plange and Maguire did really well, Chris, but they didn't score.
No, there's some really good stuff there though.
Yep, I agree. And now the changes, hopefully, after they've softened the others up. Looks like Mellish might have been pushed into midfield with the Paul Simpson cheat code. Flick on from Garrity. Lavelle with time and space. Arsenal have equalised against Fulham in the Premier League. Bukayo Saka from the penalty spot. Ball forwards, drops. Ojo took that well, just knew his angles there, knew no one was near him, and managed to keep it away from everyone. Comes to Jakavita here, with sort of that last man just leaving it downfield rather than trying to mess around on the ball. Moxon, poor header square, trying to get it through to Melish. They're on the attack, but Guy wins it back, loses it again. Massey wanted it more. Strong play from the number 19. Out to the left-hand side, and Plant already shown he can cross on that left foot if he has to. Drives at the byline, gets the cross in. Finback did well to get that one away. Corner to Port Vale, who lead 1-0. Worrell's been sent off for Nottingham Forest, who had led 2-0, now 2-2, more than 20 minutes with 10 men at Old Trafford. Writing on the wall, you'd have thought against Manchester United. Certainly would have been in Fergie time. That is a long time ago, though. 10 years now. Corner to Port Vale. Is it Massey over it? Here it comes, in swinger towards the near post, headed away by Huntington, as it so often is. Gibson giving chase, but he won't get there ahead of the pacey Mitch Clark. Down the touchline he sends it to Ojo, who it was actually who took the corner. Tries to get around his man. Mitchell's got in a bit too easily there. Adelaide trying to get on the ball for Carlisle, but can't. Pop inside, finds Owen Moxon. Who can he release? Looking for the ball out to Edmondson out on that left-hand side. Just couldn't sort his feet and gather there, and the defender did well, Arblaster, to get it away. I think it'll go out of play for a Carlisle throw, and it does. Want to see the pace of Terry Adelaide.
You've already seen it in a couple of yards. It needs to play on the shoulder. Stay right up. Mel's just moved into midfield now. Gibson out on this right, Edmondson on the left, it looks, or coming a little bit together with the blade. So
flick round the corner from Moxon there, trying to get Carlisle on the ball, and United win it back through Mellish, having stepped into this midfield. Coming back, Finback down the right, into Gibson. Touch just about got him away from his man. Edge of the area, lays it off to Moxon. Shot not on. Sends it out to Finback. Did well to gather. Can he get to the byline and get the cross in? Great cutback, defended it brilliantly. Really did do well in there, Lewis Casper. Finback did equally well. Got in and drove it across the 6-yard area. The defender first to it. Nobody running across the defender because it could have tapped it in that near post. Gary Lineker territory, but still great play, Finback.
Yeah, good play, Carlisle. Just desperate for someone to make that unselfish run, take everyone out of it. Then it's a tap in for someone coming from behind.
Armour corner. United ripples around Vale Park, in towards the back post, header up and away from Cass again, and then the number 19's got time to head it up, miscontrol it, and still run away down the right touchline. Terrier Blade comes over, plays it off him, and I think that's a Carlisle throw. The officials disagree though. And no sooner is Arsenal equalised than they are ahead. Eddie and Ketia giving them the lead at the Emirates. 3 minutes after they were behind, they are ahead. That is Premier League football. That's what we want Carlisle to do, Chris. 2 goals in 3 minutes.
Yep.
See these off. Sounds easy, doesn't it, when you put it like that? Goalkeeper slightly miscontrols with Ryan Edmondson bearing down on him. Now he's under a bit of pressure here. Edmo nearly sniffed that off him. Ball over the top will just drift all the way through. Andresen will go and retrieve it outside his area to the left. He's going to just roll his foot over the top of the ball and clatter downfield into that Port Vale half. Adelaide jumps really well there to win his header. Probably clonked as he did so. Needs to get back and get it in position. Moxon tries to drift one out to this right-hand side for Gibson. Took it down delightfully. Wide. Gives it to Finback. Does come wide, but they just go back in field into the congestion and back into the centre of their defence on halfway. Sort of easy, risk-free passes there. Yes, good for keeping possession, but we're into the 73rd minute now. Is there enough urgency going on? I know that Port Vale, Chris, could nick it and get the second here, but you've got to leave yourself enough time to try, haven't you?
Yeah, but with this gets the crowd edgy. It moves Port Vale around on this big pitch. Someone's going to suddenly lose discipline, and that's when we could open up a few holes. We've just got to, at the minute, if we lose it, that's the only problem. With Gibson running around, Mellish has come out wide. We're a bit bare in the midfield for them to break.
Clip down the line, one for Jordan Gibson to check. His defender coming over to try and get there. Strong tackle, wanted it Smith and prodded it out to play. Good strong work from him. His 356th appearance for the club, having come through the youth team a decade ago. Finback bit off more than he could chew there, and then the pass through found John Mellish offside.
Right, back in.
Slightly annoyingly. I mean, it wasn't a pass actually, was it? Finback sort of miscontrolled it. The defender managed to get goal side, but didn't realise John Mellish was there because he was stood offside. Goalkeeper applauding the fans away to our right here. Gets a ripple back for them to Connor
Sure
Ripley.
he was pointing before it's his family.
Could well have been in that enclosure to the right there. Long one downfield. Header falls fortunately for Port Vale. Off Finn back. Iacovitti taking his time, coming over to take this one. All sorts of red cards in League 2. Fleetwood down to 10 men, Blackpool down to 10 men, Stevenage and Portsmouth in the same game down to 10 men, and Wigan down to 10 men in League 1 rather. Chris keeps wagging that one finger at me. It'll take me a while to remember that. Ball over the top of the penalty area for Port Vale as they try and probe forwards at Carlisle. Oh, and they've got it into a bit of space here, maybe for a shot. Edge of the box, little ball around the corner, just run over by Plant at the back post. Turns, faces Gibson in that penalty area, lays it off to Blaster, fancies himself against John Mellish. Mellish just trying to stop him, thunders in, and in the end it's a corner. Good tackling back from Mellish, but a corner it is.
Yeah, he's adamant, John, that it came off the lad, isn't he? Kind of looked that way from here.
Possibly, but the ref is behind the pair of them, and the lino's on the far touchline, so you can only give what they can see. And Ojo not exactly busting a gut to get over the far side. Swindon 5, Crawley 0 is the scoreline coming in. 4 goals by former Barcelona Jake Young. 2 more changes coming for Port Vale down below us. Ball into the area from the corner. Anderson punches clear to the edge of the box. Blaster goes the long way around Edmondson here and works really hard to get a corner. Well done, Ryan Edmondson, to get a goal kick, I beg your pardon. Well done, Ryan Edmondson. Here come the changes. It's the number 11, Alfie Devine, for his debut on loan from Tottenham. He comes on for Gavin Massey, who has tired a little, and also Josh Thomas is coming on as well.
Number 11, Alfie Devine.
Yeah, I've seen that move went through. Was it yesterday? Something like that. So.
Yeah, I think there are 2 of them who are good friends in that youth team. Wilson coming off as well for Josh Thomas. Him and Dale Scarlett. Is he on loan? Is he on loan at Portsmouth maybe? Dane Scarlett, I'll have to check that one, but I'm sure he's out on loan as well. The 2 of them good friends and really good combination for Tottenham's younger sides and England's as well. One of that 2 though, Alfie Devine into the middle. He's slight in frame, 19 years old, 6 foot, on loan from Spurs. And Josh Thomas, who's already scored a goal on loan from Swansea, into their forward line for Wilson. As the ball is the goal kick was taken, and I don't know whether maybe the ref hadn't blown for the restart, so it goes back to Anderson in goal for United. Manchester United are now 3-2 up against Nottingham Forest. It felt inevitable. Another penalty, Bruno Fernandes. I say another, not been another penalty in that game, but Bukayo Saka's equaliser for Arsenal against Fulham was a penalty. And it was a penalty that separates the 2 sides here. On his debut, Jokel Anderson felling one of their men after a mistake, and James Wilson giving Port Vale the lead. We're now in the 78th minute, and Ablade gets on the ball here for Carlisle, over by the corner flag. Looking lively, keeping the ball away from Cass, getting it to Armour, back to Ablade, edge of the box, trying to go around his man. You can see them all over him there. He worked hard to keep his feet when he looked like he might have gone down for a free kick. Huntington gives it to Guy, who's come short to him. Finback, no option down the line to go to. Both Mellish and Gibson. That did look like a handball in there. Mellish wins it back, steps away from his man, swerves around another man, infield to Gibson, out to this right touchline here, and Finback. Gibson goes beyond him, plays it down the right. Gibson needs to get that cross in. What a ball! Where is everyone? At the back post, Armour thunders it wide. Why was no one in the middle? That was a great ball, Jordan Gibson, and he actually gesticulates where they should have been. The goalkeeper just looked at it, and
Edmondson's got to be in there.
His face fell, didn't he, as that ball came in. He just thought, I'm never getting to that. Where was everyone for Carlisle?
Great ball, well worked. Finback and Gibson, great bit of quality goes in there, and you're right, you're just waiting for someone to head it in.
That's the problem for Carlisle at the moment. I'm writing that down as a big chance. Gibson cross, no one there. That's the problem that they're struggling with. Ablade on, Edmondson on, Mellish takes a good touch there, puts his man under pressure with the goalkeeper all clear. It was an absolute beauty of a ball, and it was Nicky Adams-esque, wasn't it? Put in with jam on it for a centre forward just to run on. Wouldn't have needed to adjust the run, just meet it on the full of your head, Chris, and bury an equaliser. Yeah. But nobody in the right area, and you won't score if you're never there. And that has been United's undoing at times in this quietly decent start in League One, but it becomes not so. Well played, Edmondson, getting Carlisle a corner. Becomes not so, doesn't it, United, Chris, if they just fail to score and pick up points.
Yeah.
However promising their play is, however they don't look out their depth, they're not being embarrassed, they're just not finding a way to goal. And they should be with crosses like that.
Yeah, and if you don't get the results, suddenly your confidence starts to go down. But as we said, they're playing really well. Just need to get some points on the board, get a goal.
10 minutes to go. Still time to win this game, but they must score to do so. Ball into the penalty area. Goalkeeper punches. Drops towards Thomas in their area. Took a risk trying to head it. Oh, Gibson got very tight.
Brilliant.
Wins the ball off his man. Gets another cross into that box. Drops in there. Armour keeps it alive. Huntington heads it on. Oh, is he going to drop to? Oh, trying to tackle back there was Armour, and he helps Carlisle keep possession with a throw to the right of the box. Finn Back will come over to take. Everton had scored against Wolves, but I think VAR have intervened again in that game at Goodison Park. It's still 0-0. So Wolves and Everton have had goals ruled out in that game. 0-0. Finn Back to take this throw into the last 10 of the 90. Gibson peels off his man well, gives it back to Finn Back. On the touchline, needs some support, gives it on to Gibson, rolls his foot over it, drills across the edge of the penalty area. Moxon wins it, but beyond the back post, goalkeeper never troubled. Goal kick, Port Vale 1, Carlisle 0.
Yeah, it's a tough one for him, isn't it? It's kind of a drilled ball. He's on the penalty spot. He's got to take a lot for him to get that in, but good signs again, isn't it? Carlisle, got a lot of the possession on top, but you're just worried about that, flying forward and someone getting that next goal.
Just caught the eye of a kid along to our right. He looks like one of your coaching rascals, Chris. He's got the biggest bag of nice and spicy knickknacks you've ever seen. They're bigger than him. As Carlisle head back towards goal, enjoying himself watching Port Vale beating Carlisle United at the moment. Other Chris Brands are of course available. Clearance downfield from Anderson for Carlisle, trying to get United up the pitch. You can see the shirt there of Edmondson dragged up over his shoulders. Blade trying to help win the ball. Man's gone down very easily there. Mitch Clark. It's welcome to men's football there for Terry Blade in his first loan, because he just got suckered into that one, Chris. There's a guy, Chris, in a high-vis jacket to our left, just stepped out, whose title is Sound Manager. You're the expert at football. What on earth is that?
What's it called?
Sound Manager. Is he the one who we have to blame for how loud the music is at times? Does that mean he's on the PA? He's the Sound Manager. Goal kick forwards for Andresen into the Carlisle half. One back there by Finn Back, slides it out right hand side. Oh, just Gibson couldn't quite get there initially. Done brilliantly to win it though at the second. He just wanted that more than plan. Just decides to run in field here. Who wants to give him an option? Sends across in towards goal. Oh, goalkeeper got a leg to it, slid in there amongst the boots. The forwards couldn't quite get there. Oh, Thomas, that was weak going for the ball there for Port Vale. Carlisle win it back but then lose it again all in one. Edmondson, just drawn into it by that man Mitch Clark again, Chris. He doesn't half know how to draw the foul out, does he, the former Accrington man?
Yeah, again though, the ball's brilliantly that's gone in, and keeper comes, but again no one's in front of him. Everyone's waiting for that ball to come to them.
Yeah, not quite that striker's instinct, but they were closer there in fairness to them. Final change of the afternoon for Paul Simpson. It's Charters and Butterworth coming on. Mellish the first man off. Just quick massage of the shoulder muscles for Taylor Charters there, and Dan Butterworth from Gavin Skelton. Mellish off then for Charters. Butterfield on for whom? Guy.
This is number 8, Callum Guy. Is number 11, Gavin Butterworth.
Callum Guy, loan move here then, obviously. got a good ovation. He clapped a few here.
And a change for
Substitution for the Valiants in the field, number 18, Ollie Arblaster.
Arblaster's coming off for Jason Lowe, who Carlisle were well in for, weren't they, Chris? Apparently so.
16, Jason Lowe.
And there's a number 4 coming on as well. That is Tommy Sang. And he's coming on for Plant, who is very much faded.
Yeah, 11 games here.
It's number 4, Tom Sang.
So a bit of refreshing. 5 changes apiece now. Garrity, Thomas, Lowe, Devine and Sang on for them. For Carlisle, Gibson, Edmondson, Butterworth, Adblade and Charters.
Well, it's either energy that cancels each other out, or it's mistake and people not up to the speed of it that maybe gets you in.
Free kick forwards from their goalkeeper. Straight into touch. 5 red cards in League One today. Bristol Rovers have got one back, but trailed 2-1 at home to Wickham. Huntington lets the ball run past him there and then tides it back to Andresen, who clips it downfield. Trumping in the midfield there, Moxon. And they've won the second ball after losing the first Port Vale, and into Ojo. And then they go back to their goalkeeper. Good first touch from Connor Ripley. Under pressure there, and he was sort of mistaken. He had Edmondson right on him. In fact, it was Moxon. Ball over the top, finds Thomas offside. Free kick to Carlisle. Left back position. It's the 86th minute now, Chris, and all of a sudden you're just looking for a point. You're hoping for a point now.
No, it's you're looking for something on the board, aren't you? Ever since the penalty, you want the goal as quick as possible. When it doesn't come, then you start thinking you take the point all day. So we're just looking for that goal now.
35 minutes have elapsed. Lavelle wins his header. Carlisle appealing for the foul there. Thomas did seem to crunch into him, and that's what Alma's saying, that the officials not bending. Fulham might just be, despite having a player sent off, might just be equalising it at Arsenal, having led early on in that one. After a mistake, it sounds like, by Aaron Ramsdale. Match of the day, of course, will tell you. Adelaide gets back out then. Carlisle and wins it. It could be David Reyes' time. Carlisle managed to engineer space to make that a goal kick, which Andresen will come out and take. 87th minute we're into. Fulham equalising. Bassey's been sent off. Paulinho, though, with the equaliser 4 minutes later. Calvin Bassey signed from, wasn't he, this summer? From the Rangers man. That's the one I'm thinking of. Flick down the line. Carlisle as they try and get forwards. Headed on again. Just not got control of it yet. No. Haven't quite adapted to the changes, Carlisle. Wolves have scored. Are they 1-0 up against Everton, or will it be the third VAR of the afternoon? Good tackle from Finback, wins the ball there. He sort of tackled through Gibson and the Port Vale man. Infield, this comes here. Taylor Charters turns into the tackle, loses possession. They're breaking onto Carlisle now. Charters made a good tackle by Thomas has pinched it off Huntington, takes it around the goalkeeper and then carries it out of play. Goal kick.
It's a save, isn't it?
No, it's a corner.
No, it's a save, and then it must have hit him again. He definitely saved it.
Yeah, I thought he did, and I thought that's what the lino appealed for.
Charles just gets caught, and the lad goes through. Good save.
Wolves have taken the lead down through Kalandzic.
Go on, get
ball over the top. 6,997 in, Chris. 705 of them are Carlisle fans. Great support. Down the right, Finback being dragged all the way. Can't win it against 3 Port Vale men in the end. I mean, there must have been an overload somewhere there. Charters trying to win the ball back off the man on this near touch line. Edmondson does put out for a throw. Home fans enjoying that. Edmondson all smiles. 88th minute coming to an end, Chris. Workington have gone 2-1 up against Stafford Rangers. Second for Symington. Great news for Danny Granger's side. They needed that. Goes Butterworth, chests, controls, just eased off the ball. Free kick given, middle of the Port Vale half. Thought he was smothered off it a little there. At the moment, Carlisle are dropping into that relegation zone. Just the bottom of 3 teams all losing this afternoon. Leyton Orient jumping up above them on the strength of their first win potentially of the season. Well, they're winning 2-0 going into the final stages of their match. Carlisle have the time to move on to 3 points here and get themselves out of the bottom 4. Still very early days, but they're just not accruing points fast enough at the moment. Scoring again the issue, and individual mistakes like the Oxford game here at Port Vale, the only thing between the two sides. Lifted into the penalty area, Port Vale, Carlisle flicked square, Huntington kept alive, Gibson, edge of the area. Finback needs to get out to the right here, just didn't give Gibson what he needed there, and in the end Gibson had to do both of the work. Then Finback just passes it inside, Moxon tries to cross in, charged down by the Vale man, headed on, Adelaide came from the offside position, so Port Vale managed to clear out to the left. Number 11 getting onto it, Devine was in his own half, and then he tries to chop turn, falls over the ball, gets back up again, runs in field and passes it off to Ojo. 90th minute we're in. Stoppage time going up in about 20 seconds here at Vale Park. Can Carlisle find a way to score, or will it be another defeat here in League One? Ball down the line from Finback. Adelaide gives chase, comfortably headed away though by Iacoviti for Port Vale. Charters trying to win it in the midfield. Moxon manages to slide it through to Butterworth. Great feet and good strength on the ball. Then tries to get it through to Adelaide. Nice reverse ball back in there. Tries the first time pass across the edge of the penalty area, and this time Edmondson unfortunately had gone too far on. If it had just stood off on that one, it might have come back to him. 6 minutes time added on there'll be. 6 minutes left for Carlisle to try and rescue anything out of this game. Slid in behind United. Lavelle has to be aware of Josh Thomas behind him. Turns it round the corner into goalkeeper Anderson. He's just going to clonk this one downfield. Gets it into their half. Jumping for it, Edmondson out there. Moxon wins the header, caught as he did so. Carlisle trying to get on the second ball. Strong tackle. Their man wanted it more than Butterworth and won it. Gibson gets onto it out on this right touchline. Chop turn inside. Can he get it round the corner? Does to Finback. Nice return ball into him. Gibson trying to drive forwards now and take Carlisle on by the scruff of the neck. Nearly loses the ball to his man. Gives it in field to Butterworth. Lays it off to Charters. Further over to the left-hand side, Moxon. Left on, the only man from the midfield that started the game. In off the touchline, Armour. Looking for a teammate. Oh, square to Butterworth. Missed him by a mile. No one there for Port Vale, so Butterworth can run and retrieve it for Carlisle.
Do a bit.
Has Charters in the middle of the pitch. Goes to him. A slightly laboured pass from Butterworth. He had space to run and try and make something happen there. Just passed off responsibility for me. On to Moxon coming deep to Charters. 92nd minute we're in here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Can Carlisle find something else?
Where's Mellon?
Huntington on the ball. He's off. He's off. He's on the bench. Down, ball forwards from Huntington. Headed away, edge of the area. Can Carl pick it up? Yes. Jordan Gibson. Man down on the edge of the box. Square to Charters. Sends it out. Oh, it's a driven ball. I'm not sure Armour's getting there. It's not good enough. And it's out for a throw-in by the corner flag on the far side.
I think what people have got to realise sometimes, and I know it's not great to do, but Moxon standing there, give it to someone who's going to do a bit more. I know the ball's the right idea out Armour, but Moxon and Gibson are standing there. Just pass it to someone who can do a little bit more. But then we still haven't got the numbers in the box, have we? We've still just got Edmondson standing in around there.
Throw in from the right back position for Port Vale into the 93rd minute. A third of the way through, 6 minutes time added on. Carlisle keep the ball alive in the Vale half. Space for Finback to run into. Up to the edge of the area. Floats one back post. Adelaide trying to get there. It's overhit. It's a goal kick. Didn't even bounce in play.
The fine lines, isn't it? It's the quality. Gibson's the one who's put some great quality in. The rest, Moxon's put some good balls in. Armour, but when it comes to it in these last couple of minutes, that's when it needs to be right on the money.
Northampton have got a late goal to go 1-0 up at Cheltenham. Derby 4-2 up at Peterborough now. Posh have got one back.
A league.
Clearance from Lavelle off the goal kick from Port Vale, and the ball forward in search of Thomas, not good enough for the Valiants. Brentford Crystal Palace has finished a draw. Sade had given Brentford the lead, but Anderson in the second half getting Palace's share of the spoils. Wolves currently lead 1-0 at Everton in this dire start to the season for Everton. Forest, having led 2-0 at Old Trafford, now trail Manchester United 3-2. And in stoppage time, Fulham are 2-2 at Arsenal, which is a fine effort from them, having had a man sent off in the second half. Adelaide not able to get on the ball, cleared away from him. 94th minute here at Vale Park. Carlisle have only lost once in 5 games here. 3 wins as well at the home of Port Vale. At the moment, it's not going to be another win.
Give the ball.
Can they make it a point now?
Leave him alone.
On the right, Finn back. Charters runs into his space. They've had to lay it off to Moxon here. Back to Finn back. Moxon, can he engineer space to send something into the box? Looking for the give and go. Finn back is 1v1. In the end, he just gives it on to Moxon. Moxon crosses from the deep. It's a nothing ball, really, in truth. There was no one there to attack it. Gibson picks it up. Left of the penalty area. Looking to shoot. Gets it to Moxon. Can he get it out of his feet? No. Slids through, running onto it. Finn back. Oh, just tackles it into the shins of Iacoviti, who brings it away. And it looked a little powder puff in the end. Now they'll break with Thomas down the left. Running at Carlisle, looking to kill them off. Ojo's run a long way to overrun it. 95th minute. More than a minute 50 to go. Moxon bringing it forwards. Looking for movement, looking for teammates. Edmondson comes short, doesn't want him. Charters is inside, gives it to him. Back to Moxon. Carlisle just going to try and edge up there, just passing it on halfway between each other. 90 seconds to go.
Just go Lavelle.
Lavelle out on that left-hand side. Moxon, I think, going to look for him. Slides it square to Charters. Lavelle further over. Whips it out instead to Gibson. On the left touchline. Armour beyond him. What will he choose to do? Tries to shape a crossing. Oh, it's repelled by Port Vale and it breaks to Josh Thomas. And he's trying to go past Huntington all in one and doesn't.
Like, get in the box.
Good play by Carlisle, winning it back with Butterworth. Out to the right touchline. Finn back on this near side. Finn back just doesn't have it in him to take men on as he was doing last season in League 2. Ball around the corner to Gibson. Clips it back post. It's over hit. They won't get there, and it's another poor ball into the final third from Carlisle. Gibson, don't hang on to his name. By no means the only one guilty, but there have been so many poor decisions in that final third, and that one might be the final one Carlisle get to make.
Yeah, it just looks tired, doesn't it? Yeah, the end, it looks pass here, pass there, pass there, pass here. I'm not saying belief, but you need someone to have the courage to you know what, I might hit the first man here, but I'm going to really wrap it in. I'm not going to float it. You know, I'm not forgetting how it feels in the 95th minute and how tired you are on this pitch as well.
So poor pass from Finn back, very strong tackle, real hospital ball from Finn back to Gibson there, and he got thundered for his troubles. Finn back demanding people try and come and show so he can get a ball to someone. No one is. You get the feeling the Carlisle players know it's over. The ref blows, it is over. It's Port Vale 1, Carlisle 0, and the 5th game of the season, like 2 others before it, winds up in defeat for Carlisle United. 2 points on the board from 2 draws, 3 defeats now. And just the one thing about this one, like at Oxford in particular, is it's a mistake in a tight game has let a team take all the points off Carlisle.